Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again with yet another legendary creature from the main set of Final Fantasy that I've taken and turned into a commander deck. And today, it's Terra, Magical Adept. One and a red and a green for a 4/2 human wizard warrior. When Terra enters, mill 5 cards and put up to 1 enchantment card milled this way into your hand. And then you can do the trance thing. 4 red and green to exile Terra and then return the transformed. And she comes back as Terra, a saga. Chapters 1, 2 and 3 have create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary enchantment you control. It gains haste. If it's a saga, put up to 3 law counters on it and sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. And then you get to do the other bits. And when you hit chapter 4, you get to add white, blue, red, black and green, double of each, so 10 mana. And you get to exile Terra and turn her face up again and go back to this. So you mill 5, get 1 back in your hand. And then if you want to use 6 of the mana there and then, you can flip them again and go back to this. So, it's kind of a confusing card, but it's good fun because, sagas are fun. We like sagas and enchantments are always quite good. So just leaving Terra up, here's what today's deck looks like. So starting at the beginning, we have just one Planeswalker. Calyx, Destiny's Hand had to be here. We want to go and find the enchantments for our sagas as we go things through. And this is just a great way of doing them. Then we have the creatures, starting with Bloom Tempter to give us some ramp, and then Jukai Naturalist to cut down the cost for our enchantments as we cast them. Sanctum Weaver to give us even more mana, where X is the number of enchantments we control, including themselves. So there's always going to tap for 1, just so we're clear on that. Sasiska, the Living Law, comes in to hopefully give us a little bit of extra fun and games with our sagas. You can put a law counter on a saga and activate it, so it's all good. And when the Living Law dies, choose one and return target saga enchantment creature you control to its owner's hand, or return target saga card from our graveyard to our hand. We know what we're going to do with this. Starfield Mystic cuts the cost down and then gets bigger as the sagas disappear. Sethis lets us gain a life and draw a card every time we cast an enchantment. Weaver of Harmony protects our enchantment creatures we control. Yeah, but then we can pay 1 and copy the target activated ability or triggered ability from an enchantment of source we control. We choose new targets, so that's pretty useful. Calyx, Guided by Fate, if we can get them through to do some damage, will let us copy any enchantment we control. So a little bit tricky getting Calyx through at 2/2, but we might be able to do it eventually. Hildride, the Poet of the Unity, is also in. We go and get a basic land card, which unfortunately there's none in the decks. There's a bit pointless that side of it, but we can exile Hutley and transform them into the Roar of the Fifth People, get the dinosaur tokens, make all our creatures tap for mana. The last 2 things don't really matter, but it's here anyway. Sigurd, Jarl of Ravensthorpe does make an appearance. We've got quite a few Assassin's Creed cards in here because they are really good with the sagas. This one gets you to do the boast. Remove a law counter on target saga you control, or add or remove, I should say. So that's quite nice. Whenever you put a law counter on a saga, put a +1/+1 counter up to 1 other target creature. So, that's fine. Vedurian Enchantress, because more card draw is always good. And then Aminatu, the Veil Piercer, is also in from Duskmorn. Surveil 2 at the beginning of our upkeep, and each enchantment card on our hand has Miracle. Its Miracle cost is equal to its mana cost reduced by 4. So having this in play does cut the cost of our enchantments down quite significantly. Might as well have another way of drawing cards. So, draw is in. And then Narset, Fabled Singer, also makes an appearance whenever you sacrifice an enchantment, draw a card. And when the final chapter ability of a saga you control resolves, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is that saga's mana value. Nice way to drain your opponents out towards the end of the game if we get there. Akathea, Hand of Eberros, is also in. Gives all enchantment creatures menace, and then when it enters or attacks, exile up to 1 target non-aura enchantment creature card from your graveyard, and it becomes a token copy that's also a zombie. So, if you can't get back any other way, you can do this. And then we have all the overlords in. The Balemark, the Overlord of the Flood Pits, the Overlord of Hauntwoods, and the others are a little bit further down when we get there. But anyway, the first of the new cards coming in from Sagas is Summon Shiver, because who doesn't like Shiver? I think it was one of the first ones you got in Final Fantasy VII, if memory serves correctly. Stun counters, drawing cards, always good fun. Yes, you know, it gives you a 4/5 attacker, well, you get one turn of attacking basically before you have to sacrifice it. But, you know, if you've got a way of manipulating the Saga counters, all good in games. Tom Bombadil makes his way over from Lord of the Rings lands to make Tom Bombadil hexproof and indestructible, and find a Saga's trigger. You get to look through your library until you find a Saga and put it into the battlefield, and the rest on the bottom of our library. This ability only triggers once a turn, but you know, it's there. Oh, I should have said Terra, because of the second part of Terra's ability. Does make her a 5-colour enchantment, a creature. I should have said that, because we've got the 5 mana symbols on the back side of it, so she does count as 5 colours, hence why there's all the other colours in here. Should have said that at the start, sorry. Anyway, going from there, Tom Bombadil, then we got Una, Hope of Spira, which is one of the new other main deck legends from the new set. During your turn, Una, an enchantment creature you control, have Trample, Lifelink and Ward. At the beginning of your end step, return up to 1 target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Now, I don't mind this. If we got a way of removing finality counters, which we haven't, unless I've missed something, please let me know in the comments down below if I have missed it. Still a good card, whichever way you look at it. Another one of the Assassin's Creed guys, Eva, Wolfkiss is also in. Deals combat damage to a player. You mill that many cards, you may put a Saga and or land card from among them onto the battlefield. Javi the Allfather also makes an appearance. Whenever Javi or another legendary creature you control dies, return target legendary creature card with less than mana value from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So that's quite useful in this deck, because most of our creatures are legendary that we need to keep going. The Overlord of the Boiler Barges is here. There's this fourth one, sorry. Summon Primal Odin is also coming in. I like this one from Final Fantasy. Destroy target creature and opponent's controls. This creature gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. And then the last one before it gets nuked off, draw 2 cards, each player loses 2 life. Yeah, okay then. The final one of the Overlords, the Miss Mauls, is here just to give some more blockers. And then we have Summon Knights of the Round. Now, we all know what happens to get the Knights of the Round gem, whatever it's called, I can't remember now. You have to go and breed your golden chocobo after you've done all the races and travel to the northwest corner of the map on the Final Fantasy VII game. I think it's northwest. It's definitely northwest or northeast, one of the other corners. To the little island, the only way you can get there is on the golden chocobo, and then you get the Knights of the Round summon, and yeah, you start to have a real good fun time with your game. But it's here for this. Chapters 1, 2, 3 and 4 give you 3 2/2 Knight tokens each turn, and then when you get to the end of it, other creatures you control get +2/+2 until the end of turn. Put an indestructible counter on each of them. Yeah, like that plan a lot. And finally, Summon Bahamut also makes an appearance from the main set of Final Fantasy. Destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent, 1 and 2, then draw 2 cards. And then this creature deals damage equal to the total mana value of other permanents you control to each opponent. Yeah, if you can keep Bahamut around till the end of the game, you're probably going to win that turn it goes off, to be honest. So, pretty damn good in my book. From there, we go to the sorceries. We have a few. We've got a lot of way of returning enchantment cards from our graveyard. So Resurgent Belief comes in. Late game, suspend. Don't suspend it on turn 2. Whatever you do, you won't be anywhere near it. Suspend it sort of like turn 5, turn 6, and then wait for all the enchantments to come back that way. Then we've got Ramp with Farseek, Nature's Law, 3 visits. More ways of returning our enchantments. The traditional Replenish, which makes this deck cost a lot of money in real life. Open the Vaults makes an appearance as well. This one's quite nice though. Return all artifact and enchantment cards from all graveyards to the battlefield under their owner's control. Helps everyone else out, but it helps you out significantly as well. Brilliant Restoration lets you return everything from your graveyard only for 1 extra mana. And then Triumphant Reckoning lets you bring back Calyx from the graveyard as well if that Planeswalker's been killed off. So bear that in mind. There's only 3 artifacts. I didn't go too heavy. Elixir of Immortality, because shuffle everything back in when it goes pear-shaped. And then Arcane Signet and Felwar Stone. I've been challenged, by the way. Sol Ring's not in here. I'm aware of that. But I've been challenged by some of my regulars on my stream to try and build some decks without Sol Ring. So this is a starting point. Kumano Faces Kasaka is also in. That's the next one that comes in. So here we go for all the sagas. Mirror Maid is here just so we can have copies of them. Then we've got Rediscover the Way coming in from Tarkir. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, one of them in your hand, the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. And non-creature spells then give a creature double strike, so that's fine. Huntsman Redemption comes in from whichever one it was now, can't remember. Beast token, sacrifice creature, search your library for a creature or basic land card. So it's going to be sacrifice for a creature, because you'll see why in a minute. And then up to 2 target creatures get +2/+2 and trample. 3 blind mice. I put it in purely because one of my friends likes playing it standard still, so it's here. Thunder of Unity also comes in from Tarkir. Draw 2 cards, lose 2 life, and then whenever creatures enter, each opponent loses 1 and we gain 1. Historian's Boon is not a saga, obviously, but it is a very good enchantment. Whenever this or another non-token enchantment enters under our control, we get a 1/1 soldier, and when the final chapter of a saga triggers, we get a 4/4 angel. So yeah, let's go with that. Revival of the Ancestors, 3 spirit tokens, distribute some +1/+1 counters, then everybody gets trample and lifelink till the end of turn. Do I need to talk about Smothering Tithe? No, we can skip that. The Antiquities Wars next. Go and find one of our 3 artifacts if we need them. But, you know, that could probably come out, to be fair. When I originally built this deck, I had more artifacts in here than I've dropped some out. So this may be a waste of a saga now. So this one can be changed quite happily. To what? I don't know. Maybe another one of the ones we've got coming up. Elspeth Conquers Death. It does the nice thing of dealing with all the problematic 3 power, 3 or cost, mana cost or greater permanents. And then non-creature spells cost 2, and then we get to return a target creature or planeswalker from our graveyard. That's fine. Oath of Oil from Lord of the Rings. 2 white soldier tokens, 2 human tokens, and an indestructible counter on 1 human, and we become the monarch. Sphere of Safety gives us a way of protecting ourselves quite happily with all the enchantments we should have in play. The Tale of Tivul also makes an appearance from Lord of the Rings. Target creature you control gains indestructible as long as we've got this in play. We get to bring a creature card back from our graveyard. And up to 2 target creatures we control gain lifelink on Chapter 3. The Mending Dominaria just lets us have all our lands back that we're probably going to mill away at some stage. And then the Shattered States of Era gain control of target creatures until the end of turn. Untap it, it gains haste until the end of turn. Creatures then get pumped, and then we get to transform it into the Nameless Conqueror, 3/3 trample haste human samurai. From there, we go to the Kami War. Exile opponents, return up to 1 other target non-permanent land permanent his owner's hand, then this opponent discards a card, and then exile this saga, bring it back transformed, and we get Okechi Made Manifest. Yeah. Yeah. That's quite nice, really, isn't it, when it gets things back. And finally, because I love playing it, Waking the Trolls, destroy a land, nick a land from a graveyard, and then hopefully you get a whole load of troll warrior creature tokens. Now, unusually for me, I am playing 41 lands in this deck, which may be a little bit too high, but until I've play tested a bit more when the set hits, I don't know. But I think 41 is a good starting point. But the one thing you will notice is there are literally no basic lands in this deck. We literally have all the triomes, all the search lands, and then all of the lands that came in from Duskmourn and Ether Drift. They're all here. There is every single thing here, apart from Hall of Heliod's Curiosity, so we can get enchantments from our graveyard back on top of our library. And that's the only non-searching or coloured land that we have in the deck, which I say a little bit risky in case we run into a Blood Moon and we cry a lot. But I wanted to try it out and do it this way. The lands, like I say, are a little bit high. We could drop maybe a couple of the lands, you know. Maybe some of the Verges could come out and we could play a few more artifacts, but you know, we could just drop the Antiquities War entirely and play something else. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes once the set hits. I've played it out, and that's it. That is my take on Terra, the Magical Adept. Yeah, 41 lands is very high for a commander deck. I'm very aware of that when we're not playing a landfall strategy deck. So you could probably cut some out and play something else. Maybe some more of the summons if you wanted to. I've only gone with a few of them because they're the ones that caught my eye. But there's a lot of summons in Final Fantasy that might be worthwhile playing in the deck. So until the set hits, we'll see. And I may edit the deck at some stage. If I do, there'll be a note in the video saying what I've taken out and what I've put in. And the deck list will be updated here on Moxfield to compensate for that. But for now, please, there's 686 of you here now subscribed, so I record this one, which is fantastic. Thank you for all the regular subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please do down below. Really appreciate it. And if you want to see me play the decks on Final Fantasy, there's also a link down below by Twitch. Come and join us over there. We're sitting at 283 over there on Twitch at the moment. But, you know, as I say, leave a comment. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the video. Helps get me out there a little bit more. And I will be back very soon with another deck. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.